Welcome back, everyone, to the Night Dasher with Justin Bizzarro show. I'm Justin Bizzarro. I'm your host. That's Bizzarro. For anyone who's out there, you can find us on Instagram at Justin Bizzarro, Bizzarro. I haven't formed an Instagram just for the Night Dashor. Again, that's Dashor. And again, this is Justin Bizzarro. You can find us on Instagram. You can also listen to this show on Spotify or wherever else you grow yourself through podcasts. This is going to be a quick one, guys. What has happened to all of the tips for the delivery game? This is going to be the topic. Okay? One of the things that is going on out there is a lot of pizza deliveries, particularly from Papa John's, Little Caesars, Pizza Hut, are being rejected by the drivers and not being delivered. And it's because no one is putting a tip on there. If you're a customer out there listening, or you're a fan of DoorDash or Grubhub or Uber Eats or Postmates or Chow Now, the issue is the drivers are no longer getting tipped for the pizza orders because the way they're outsourced, when an order comes in and then it gets passed off to a DoorDash driver, a third party, even though it comes through the store or through the online website, there's no tips. The drivers are no longer getting tips. It's very often on pizza orders. It's also when the customer thinks that the driver's only going a short distance. This is no longer the game where someone sits around the pizza shop and waits for an order to come in and then delivers it 4 miles to your house or less than 10 minutes. The issue is drivers are driving anywhere from 10 to 12 miles sometimes to pick up deliveries, particularly the ones that aren't being picked up. Because if you're only getting the base minimum, $2.50, maybe during a peak hour, $4.50, depending on it. Sometimes you can get up to $5 in Nashville. You're not making enough money as a DoorDasher to even cover your mileage or your gas, even to go 4 miles at $2.50, particularly because you have to go pick up the order. And I've had this happen as I've been doing the research and talking to other drivers all over. Denver and Seattle, less of a problem. Okay? New York, Allentown, Lehigh Valley, Washington, D.C., Nashville, weirdly, all of the pizza orders, most of them, people are not tipping. The service charge went up and the tips went down. Okay, so why aren't people tipping for pizzas? Why aren't people tipping the drivers? It's a craziest phenomenon. I know part of it is drivers have been stealing food, so the service charge has gone up because DoorDash or Grubhub or Postmates or Chow Now or Uber Eats has to charge a higher fee to make up for all the loss and paying back the merchants for the stealing of food. But it's merchants' responsibility to make sure that the Dasher or the third party they're using has the right food and checks it in. Okay, that doesn't mean they don't eat it and drop the order even though they've checked it in. And there are no laws to punish someone from stealing food from DoorDash or Grubhub or Postmates or Chow Now or Uber Eats or whatever other service you use. The issue is if you want people to deliver your food, you want it to get there, you have to pay well for it. You have to tip the drivers. They are part of the economy now. And screwing them over and giving them $2.50, where if you get 2 of those in a row or you get a stack where maybe you get 2 deliveries at once or 3 deliveries at once, which happens, and you're getting $2.50 to $3.50 per order, you're not even making minimum wage in that hour without tips. It's the craziest thing. We live in this country where we're like service and quality and the American dream, yet the people that are working and supporting our economy right now way more than anyone else because the drivers are running around trying to connect the pieces. Okay, even though it's a weird thing that the DoorDashes and the Grubhubs and the Ubers and the Postmates and the Chow Nows are acting like gatekeepers to the businesses, and they actually own the customers a lot of the time to these businesses. You have to tip them well or they're not going to deliver the food. They're going to deny it from the merchant. They're going to deny it to you as a customer. And believe me, I make note, and I do not reject any orders. I try to take them all other than when there's glitches in the systems because I'm trying to do my research here. I'm trying to give information on how to do this industry better. I'm trying to help businesses consult and work their way through these problems. But in a lot of ways, the clients, the customers not paying the drivers more, the merchants not giving food or samples to the drivers, particularly when they see them night after night or day after day, and like, hey, they're your employees, you feed your other employees, you may be contracting them, but this dude's running your McDonald's like 3-4 times a night, 7 days a week. Maybe you should give him a 6-pack of chicken McNuggets or a drink. How about a free drink? How about a 4-piece McNuggets? How about a small fry? Okay, you're a restaurant, how about a slice of pizza? Whatever it is, you need to think about it, and you need to put it in their mouth because they're the best word of mouth, okay? And when you guys don't tip the clients, the customers, we talk about you, okay? That's not me, Justin, when I say we, because I don't talk negative about anyone. I try to have positivity, but I will tell you, drivers know the addresses. Drivers know when that address or that thing comes up on the map where they show it, they're not going to deliver to you. It's going to take someone like me who accepts every orders to fix the issue, but I am making mental note of you. If I'm driving up to these houses, like, what are you doing ordering food if you can't afford to even tip the driver? Probably should be eating at home. Sorry, but it's ridiculous. You can't spare $2 extra. These drivers are running around, they're putting miles on their car, they're paying car insurance, they're making sure everything they can to make sure your food's delivered warm or cold or whatever it is. They're giving bags, they're doing whatever. But the less you benefit, give them tips, the less drivers is going to be out there. The less high-quality drivers are going to be out there. The merchants, like, you need to take care of the drivers. Nashville has one of the best systems I've ever seen. You get paid hourly, you make bonus money, and because it's a tourism market, you make a lot of money. You can make $400 to $1,000 in a night there just in tips in a day. Sorry, not in a night. In a day. Sometimes in as little as 6 hours. Because if you get on a trail where you get a P.F. Chang's or you get an STK Steakhouse or you get a Hattie B's big order or a bachelor party orders or orders for the hospitals that are there or whatever and try to, not too many college deliveries because college kids tend to not tip well. There are a few. I've seen it at Kutztown University. Weirdly, they tip really well there. Not at Lehigh University for some reason. But go down to Nashville, there's a ton of universities down there. Belmont, great tip. You're going to get great tips. Vanderbilt, not so good tips. Okay, and here's the other thing. There's these constant rumors going around that I hear all the time and feedback from customers, and have been doing this for a long time, is that they don't need to tip the drivers. The drivers make enough. That is far from the truth. Based on what's going on right now, especially in the pizza game and the lack of tips, drivers can't even get enough money to put gas in their car. They're at a break even just with gas. And they're raising gas prices. They're up to $3.75 in Pennsylvania and higher in other places. Okay, I don't care if you're riding a bike or riding a scooter or riding a motorcycle. It is not a good proposition right now. And unless there's an hourly wage and the providers, the delivery companies, give drivers a minimum wage, which I think we should all ask for, it works better that way. And then we can get bonuses during peak hours and more hourly wages. And then it's more likely that all the deliveries will get done and you'll increase the service. However, if you're out there and you're not getting tips, I feel for you. Okay, because it is terrible what is going on out there. And this is not arrogance. This is not whatever. This is doing the right thing by the drivers, okay? Like, I know some people, you don't have the money to do it, but you shouldn't be ordering food then. You shouldn't be doing the deals and shouldn't be cutting it so close. I freaking give 50 cents. Do something. Don't be a mooch. I'm sorry, I love everyone and I appreciate customers and I believe you should tip for service. But if the driver gets the food, gets it to you, the reason that he's late, if he's late and people are dodging your order, it's because you aren't tipping them in the order. Or if it's a pizza order and it shows a 0 tip, no one's going to take it. We know the numbers. If you've been driving long enough, you get the systems. You get the algorithm. The long-term dedicated drivers know how to make money for their families. But you're going to rob them of that because you're saving money for your family. I get it, but you think you're basically taking from someone in order to get your food, in order for you to have your bills. I get $75 orders sometimes, 0 tip. I did a catering order the other day. It must have been $300-$400 worth of food requested by the merchant. DoorDash gives $2.50. They tipped me $0 because it was only 4 miles down the road. Okay? While I don't care as much, I'm here to learn. I'm here to extrapolate. I'm here to grow. So there's a lot of other benefits there for me. That's not true for the entire population that does this. They are trying to do this to make a living, to put food on their tables, put their kids through school, buy their kids Christmas gifts or Easter gifts or Mother's Day presents. Anything they can, they're out there hustling and grinding. And the fact that we're not rewarding this behavior is insane to me. We should be rewarding the drivers who are working hard and getting the food out there and filling the voids that are going on, because how many people don't want to go out to eat anymore? That's the world we live in. COVID changed the game. But you got to reward these people or they're going to run away, like we've seen in the food industry. And when they run away, we're left with artificial intelligence, we're left with robots, we're left with bad customer service, and we're left with foreign invasion on our food companies. Do you not realize that tipping our drivers is being American? And if you're in the rest of the world, tipping your drivers is part of freedom, liberty, the entrepreneurial spirit, being your own boss, taking care of your family, growing a family. So you would tip someone in a restaurant. I know not all countries do this. I know not tipping's normal everywhere else, but it has to be for this game. There's no way to make money, make a living, unless there's an increased base pay and a higher tip like they do in Nashville. And sometimes in Denver, although Denver, everyone seems to tip majority well. Okay? There's a Little Caesars that I won't mention that has really bad customer service in Littleton. Really bad customer service. Really bad delivery driver service. They pay the price. No one tips there. And they blame the drivers. Okay, well, it's the restaurant, but you're screwing me over because the restaurant sucks and is slow and whatever. And I say me over, meaning I'm speaking for all of us as delivery drivers. Okay? I am one of them. I do this. Once I entered the game and did my research, I could have just ended it, but then I got more curious. I needed to do more. There's a burning desire to learn more from more cities, do more research, see what the big environments like Los Angeles, New York are doing, Denver. What is Nashville doing? Nashville is the biggest, most lucrative market I see Thursday through Monday mornings. Everything there rocks. You got to be willing to drive the city. You got to be willing to park crazy things, and I drive a big-ass truck. So it's even harder to do it because I want the room to fit all the food, especially the catering orders, because I like learning. I like going into the business. I'm curious. That's why I do all these podcasts. I want to learn from people. Do I need to? No. But do I want to? Yes. It gives me purpose, gives me something to do. It gives me a learning lesson, and it gives me information so I can do these podcasts. It gives me information so as I go do Foodtopia TV or Foodtopia Love, Eat, Learn, or Eat, Love, Learn, as we're launching this, especially with what's going on in the world. As I'm recording this, there's rumors of a Writers Guild strike going on. Okay? Everything we do and every stepping stone is for a future. And when you screw over the drivers, you're screwing them over. They have an ability. We get humbled. It is a humbling experience. Everyone should go do DoorDash, or Uber, or Chow Now, or Postmates, or Chow, whatever. I don't care. Grubhub. Because why? It's a humbling experience. You want to know what's going on in the food game? You're a computer dude? You need to go DoorDash. You need to train yourself a little bit on handling food and what the proper protocols are. Of course, I recommend. But you should go out and do it as a humbling experience, and you will see actually what the rest of the world is going through. And you'll have a lot more appreciation for your life. It gives you purpose. It helps the world out. But everyone out there, we need to start tipping the drivers. What are we doing? How do you live with yourself when someone's doing this work for you? You don't want to go out and get your food, but you give them enough. Or DoorDash, their base is enough. No, it's not. That's not the way the system is built. The system is built so the drivers get tips, or else they can't make a living. And in depressed areas like Lehigh Valley, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Harrisburg, Richmond, Virginia, they're not getting any tips. Why? Then the drivers aren't making a living. It's a non-win situation. You're not helping the economy. If you're not willing to go get your food, at least tip them so they are benefiting from it. I don't care if they go 4 miles. Give them $2. The DoorDash base or the Grubhub base or the Uber base is not enough to make a living. And while these companies should pay the drivers more, I agree, you should be tipping more. Especially if you want to reward the service. Especially when we drive up to your house, we drive up a mile-long driveway to your multi-million-dollar facility and you give $250 on a $100 order? Holy crap, that's 2.5% and you didn't even actually pay it. DoorDash did as part of their fee that you paid happily. You gave them happily the fee, but then you screw over the driver who's actually delivering the food? That doesn't make any sense. The person that's doing the transaction, the one that has the physical cost, that's not a computer system, you're screwing them over. You're not helping them pay for their cars and their life and the reason that they're doing this. They need it. Way more than the shareholders of these companies. And that's nothing against these companies. I believe they need money and they need to grow because they're growing so fast, cash flow is probably being sucked the fuck out of them rapidly. Because that's what happens. People don't realize that when you grow rapidly, it's like the tidal wave effect. All of a sudden, the water at your feet gets sucked out to the wave, like the ocean. And that's your cash because you got to keep investing cash to grow your business. And it becomes this weird thing where even though you're growing, you're almost bankrupt all the time cash flow-wise. Unless you can get loans, unless you can get things like that that help. But my point being this. While they need the service charges and they need to charge the merchants their fees, sometimes 20 to 30% they're charging the merchants. They're charging you anywhere from 8 to 20 to 25% for your delivery, depending on how it all stacks up. Look at it. But you're going to give the driver $0 for delivering your pizza, for delivering your friendlies, for delivering your Chipotle, to delivering your Torchy's tacos. It's the craziest thing to me. Why are you willing to pay so much money in service fee for your food, yet you're not willing to pay the person who's delivering it? That's nuts to me. Maybe you should order less food and give the driver a little bit more. Or maybe you should cook at home if you can't tip the drivers. Sorry. I'm being truthful. I'm being blunt. It's not me being cocky or whatever. It's me telling you the truth. Maybe you should order from somewhere else where you can have a little more money to tip the drivers. Stop taking shortcuts in life. If you're going to screw over other people by doing a delivery, why are you doing the delivery? Look at yourself. You want to have a better life. You want to be a better person. You want to provide more for your family. You want to lead by example. You want your kids to look up to you. Do the right thing. We talk about this in the Justin Ryan Bizzarro show and one of the episodes that'll be released with Stephen DeKemper. His mom saw a family in need, and the family only had one ticket, and the guy thought the kid could sit on his lap because that's the way things used to be, and they were going to kick him off the plane, and she got up and paid for his ticket. It left massive influence on him to what it is today. And now he is one of my 4 partners in Foodtopia, in the show that's about to be launched. 18 seasons over 12 years that we are working on. All around the world, international entrepreneurs. Just like you guys, just like merchants, just like the people out there. We're out there trying to grow the world. But if you're going to screw people over knowingly, because that's what you're doing by not tipping them, they're doing all the work. Other than the merchant making the food, they're doing all the rest of the work. They're doing the legwork. They're getting it to you. They're making sure it's warm. They're making sure it's in a bag. They're making sure their heated seats are on to keep the food hot, if they have them. Trust me. These guys work hard, and girls. I watch them hustling. The ones who really get it, they hustle. Especially in Nashville, because it's so lucrative there, because they get tipped well. The reason those numbers and the deliveries go through the roof and everything goes so well in Nashville, because the drivers are taken care of there. Thank you, everyone, for listening in. Again, I'm Justin Bizzarro. That's Bizzarro. If you want to find us on Instagram, you can find me at Justin Bizzarro, and you can find me on Facebook at Justin Bizzarro as well. And additionally, if you want to find this show or all my other shows, Justin the Food Entrepreneurs, this show, The Night Dasher with Justin Bizzarro, the Centurion Leadership Battalion with Justin Bizzarro, and the Justin Ryan Bizzarro Show, you can find us on Spotify also. But I'm fired up about this, guys. You can't, these drivers are hungry. They want to do the right thing, a majority of them. Just because a few bad apples doesn't mean it ruins the bunch in this case. The bunch is still hunting on. But you don't want rejection of deliveries. You don't want drivers to not be able to provide for their family in the hour they work. They've got to make more than minimum wage. You've got to tip them. I'm telling you, it's not an option. People are like, oh, don't tell me what to do, Justin. Yes, I'm telling you what to do. Tip the drivers. You want a better America? Tip the drivers. You want to complain about politics. You want to complain about the world. You want to say, oh, my God, the world's screwing me over. Well, you're screwing over the world. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. And when you have a shit ton of money and stuff like that, I get it. You want to be safe, and you've got your money by protecting it and investing wisely. What is $2 to $4 to $10 going to cost someone to deliver? Don't order the food, as much food, if you can't tip the drivers. Order from somewhere else. Don't order at all. Ask the drivers to do your grocery shopping then, so you have cheaper food, and then tip them for that. But don't screw over the drivers, especially for the pizza runs. It's insane. Nobody wants to do pizza. Papa John's, Little Caesars, Pizza Hut. Even people get scared for restaurants that are the mom and pops now to deliver pizza because they're afraid they're not going to get any tips. I'm going to let everyone go. I'm sorry I'm going on, but the realistic thing is we hear it from customers time and time again. They are told they do not have to tip the drivers. The delivery drivers are not getting tipped. They're getting screwed over on a regular basis in many, many parts of the United States. I have not gone international, but believe me, I'm going to figure out this game internationally as well. Thank you, everyone, for listening in. I'm Justin Bizzarro. You can find us on Spotify or wherever else you grow yourself through podcasts, and we're out.